Hi everyone, this is Board Games Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I want to talk to you about Secret Sky Castle, which is from the Duelist line, meaning it's for two people from Level 99 Games. And this is a really clever game that I think got overlooked, so I wanted to share it with you. In short, what you're doing in this game is you have personality cards, you have 8 and you choose 6, and you're putting these cards down in a gamble to try to win tiles. And you have this little area that's 12 tiles, 3 by 4. And when you play down your cards, what it does is it activates a power, but it also has a numerical value. The numerical value tells you what order the cards will take effect, either you or your opponent. And then the power on the card will say things like, I take the card I'm on. I take the card I'm next to. If you steal a card from me, I get this. I take anything from this whole row of cards. And the cards you're bidding on represent treasures, chests that are locked, keys that you can use to unlock the chests. If you want to unlock the chest, you might not have enough keys. So you have to get skeleton keys, and those are negatives. And the more you get, the more repetitions you get of these different things, the greater their effect. So it's very clever. All the rounds play out very quickly. There's some interesting choices in the game. Simplicity, which is fantastic, almost an ingenious simplicity to it that I think adults, teens, and kids would all like. So anyway, without further ado, let me show you what it's like. All right, so what I have in front of us are all the components to the game. So you have a deck of cards for player 1, that's red, player 2, that's blue. You have cards that explain the scoring. You have skeleton keys, which you use in lieu of actual keys in the game. And then you have the tiles here that you're going to lay out. Now, I actually have a big old honkin' box of tiles over here, but these are essentially what they are. So when we look at these tiles, what they have are different values. One tile might be a treasure chest, and this is worth 2 points, but it requires you a key to unlock it, okay? This one here is a treasure chest that's worth 12 points, but it requires 3 keys. Now, the keys are this. You can also gain the key in the game. And if you have one key to go with this, well, if you had one key to go with this number 2 chest, you would simply claim this as yourself because you have a person on top of it. You're going to flip it over, and then you've unlocked this, and you're going to get 2 points. And you can use these regular keys over and over, almost like you're a custodial engineer, and you always have your keys with you. This one here, however, requires 3 keys. So if you only had one and you wanted to go for it, you would have to take skeleton keys, and those are permanent negative points in the game. Okay? Now, you can also get these. These are artifacts, a nice silver urn because you can't have enough ashes in the family. But the more that you have, the more you're going to score. And what is the scoring in the game? Well, when we look here, you're going to notice that for these artifacts, if you have 1, you get 3 points. If you have 2, you have 3, then 6. If you have 4, you have 10, and then it just keeps going up. 15, 21, 28, and it just keeps going up based on how many you have. You add the number. Okay, same for the skeleton keys. If you have 0, you have 0. If you have 1, -1. If you have 2, you're going to get, or your third one, I should say, is -3, then -6, 10, 15, 21, and then it would go to like 28 like that. And then for the value of the chests, you get whatever is on the chest itself. Now, what are the cards that you're playing? Okay, well, there's a few here, if I can pick them off the table, which is really the bane of my existence, getting cards off the table. Number 1, it says right here, which is pretty cool, it says you're going to place this right on the tile. So when I play the game, if this is on the board, I literally place it right on the tile that I'm trying to win, okay? They're not all going to say that. Some say you can place it on someone else's card. Some say you place it beside a card, okay? That way it affects like an entire row. Number 1 here says you're going to place on an empty tile, and you may swap the tile that this character is on with an adjacent tile, okay? Number 2 says the lookout. You're going to place this on an empty tile. The tile under him cannot be swapped by a rival. Takes the tile below him, all right? The sentry, number 3, protects himself and an ally from theft. So you can't steal from an ally. Cannot act until the ally above acts. Takes the tile he is on, or a diagonal tile, as opposed to orthogonal, my favorite word in board games. The captain, so this is one that goes outside a row or a column, but it only affects one of them. It says you're going to take the tile in his row or column. Basically, you get whatever's left. It's number 4, so it kind of goes in the middle of the order anyway. Number 5, the jeweler. Take a tile in her row or column. So there's a lot of freedom there. This is kind of like the queen, you know, if this was chess. Number 6, the smuggler. Place on an empty tile. Take the tile she is on if her tile is taken by a rival. So this is basically can activate out of order. The smuggler instantly takes any adjacent tile she is on. Okay. Number 7, you place directly on another person. Pretty cool. Place on an empty tile or on top of a rival. Any character beneath the explorer, right? Now that doesn't mean like, looking at the board, it means literally physically underneath, cannot act until after he does. Take an adjacent tile. And then lastly, the thief, that has an exclamation point because this could turn on at any moment. It says, when a rival in this column takes a tile, you may thieve it instantly. And I certainly use that to my advantage. Okay, so let's just do an example of how a game's going to play out here. And pardon me as the mess here gets shuffled around. I'm not gonna really think too hard about what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I'm doing is I'm making a 12 tile board here. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo. Now you notice everything that kind of comes out. It's kind of like all repetitions. Okay, well, I got a lot of keys, some chests, an artifact. Now there are 3 rounds in this, okay? Now once you put that out, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your deck of cards, you're gonna throw 2 out. You're gonna deal with 6. Red player did that, and now blue player is gonna do that. And then let's just say blue player is gonna start. You basically are gonna put your pieces down 2 at a time, okay? So this says here, place on an empty tile. Let's just say there, and this says place on an empty tile. Sure. Let's do this, okay? And then for the lookout, I'm gonna put it right on that 12 because why not? And then this person is gonna place theirs as well. And I should say the captain here actually says, place this outside a row or column. So I'm gonna place that person there and this one because I have a blue one as well. Oh shucks, I wanna counter out as much red as I can. So I'm going to place it right there. Okay, so now that I've done this, what we're going to do is try to see what happens, and we're going to activate this based on the number order. Okay, so first thing you got to say is who is number 1 in the game? I don't see any number 1s in the game. So did we throw away number 1? We threw away number 1. Is there no? Number 1 right here, Scout, right in the middle. It says, may swap the tile he's on with an adjacent tile. Well, you know what? I'm not going to swap. I am simply going to take. Okay, so number 1 is gone, and it took that key. The key, again, is reusable. You can use in the future. So we're going to go to number 2s. Okay, I have a number 2 here, and I have a number 2 there. Now, what you do in the case of a number ties, it goes to the person who started that round. I think I said red started, so we'll just say it's red. The tile under him cannot be affected. You can take it, okay? So red is going to take this. All right, so the red person now has 1 tile to their name, and the blue person is going to go, and they're going to take this. Now, they're taking a 12-pointer. I only have 1 key. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to take 2 skeleton keys to make up the difference. All right, those are negative points. Now, what are those negative points? Well, if we looked here already, the negative points, I'm down to -1. 1 key is 0. Okie dokie. Did that. Number 2. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3s are here again as a tie. So I'm going to start, and it says protect himself or an ally from theft. Okay, cannot act until the ally above acts. Okay, so you would have to be next for that ally. You're not really protecting anything there. Okay, well, so useless, gone. So that's number 3. Okay, number 4 captains. We have 2 captains again. It's a split decision because the red goes first. Take something on this tile. Well, red, I have 1 key here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, just try to get some points. I'm going to take this here, and that's 2. So I'm going to spend my 1 key, and I have 2 points instantly. Very good, Red. You're really thinking. But you're playing the short game. You should have gotten the key for the long game. Now this person goes, they're going to go ahead and take this key for themselves. So now the blue player actually has an available key. And I think they have 2 keys altogether. Yeah. All right. Number 5. Okay. Again, we have a tie. Goes to the red person. Take a tile in her row or column. I think what the jeweler is going to do is smuggle. Okay, so the jeweler is going to use the power to take something in the row or column. They're going to steal this one here, okay? Now, that's the first artifact in the game. The first artifact is 1 point. The next is 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, and so on. So it did that. The smuggler says, takes the tile she is on. If her tile is taken by a rival, the smuggler instantly takes any adjacent tile she is on. So this actually, this person activated for red. This was thieved, okay? But it says by a rival. Oh, they can't do anything. Gosh darn, okay. Well, now it says here the jeweler for the blue. All right, what are they going to do? Do they want more of those? Okay, so the jeweler is going to say, I'm going to take a tile in the row. And what they're going to do is they're going to take this. Okay, they're going to take an artifact, because I want to speak correctly. Now, when it says here, when a rival in this column, but the rival's not in this column. Oh, the thief could have helped steal something back. Oh, well. So they took that. They were smart. All right, so they activated 2. Okay, moving on to 6s. It says here, again, we have a tie between 2 6s. Smuggler takes the tile she is on. Useless. Useless. Okay, takes the one you're on. Eek. Miserable. Okay. And then it just goes here, and it says, when a rival for the thief, that activates. When a rival in this column takes a tile, you may thieve it instead, but nothing was taken. Wow, that was awful. And then the sentry didn't take anything. They just protected. Worthless. Okay, so after 1 round, what's the scoring? Well, for the red person, we have 1 artifact, and 1 artifact is worth 1 point, and then we have a chest that's worth 2. Okay, plus they have a reusable key, so they are at 3 points. If we look at the bad person over here, the blue person, I was looking at the skeleton key. They have a 12-point chest, 2 reusable keys, 1 artifact worth 1 point, so they're at 13. Somehow, don't ask me how, they already have 14. Is that correct? No, there's no way. They have 2 keys, and the 2 keys is -3. So they are at 13 minus 3. They're at 10. Okay. Now, once you do that, you're going to refill the board. Okay. So then you do there and there. And what you're going to notice is the composition of the board changes as you go. So it's pretty cool, the different combinations and where they go. That doesn't really matter in the beginning. Okay, and then the other person is going to play on, and they're going to start, and you get to reuse the keys that you already kept, and then you can use the skeleton keys, and you do this for 2 more rounds, and then boom, you're done. So pretty cool game overall, and you can see how it plays. Okay, so anyway, once again, that is called the Secret Sky Castle. I really enjoy it as a 2-player game. Give that a look. All right, everybody, thanks a lot. Bye.